Okay, so, getting ready for this deep dive into what it means to be a quick service restaurant team leader,
Hmm.
I I have to admit, I thought I had a pretty good handle on things.
Hmm.
Like, how complicated can it be, right?
Yep.
But then you sent over those role catcher resources, and whoa, eye-opening to say the
It's
least.
not your grandfather's fast food joint anymore, is it?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, just going through this role catcher career guide, the stuff they list out, inventory, quality control,
Mm.
dealing with customers, they even have financial forecasting. Is
Yeah.
that like a thing now?
It's a sign of the times, really. QSRs these days, they're not just battling other burger joints, they're competing with those fancier, fast casual places for the same customers.
Yep.
The ones with the exposed brick and the reclaimed wood table.
Yeah, where you pay extra to feel cool while you eat your burger.
Exactly. So the game has changed. It's not just about who's got the cheapest meal deal anymore. They're fighting on customer experience, brand image, the whole nine yards.
Makes sense. But marketing. I mean, the
Yeah.
guide actually says developing and implementing marketing strategies. Did they start sending fast food team leaders to like marketing boot camp or something?
Well, think about it. Those limited time offers you see, social media campaigns, loyalty programs. Somebody's got to make that stuff work at the ground level, right?
So it's like they need the skills to run a whole business, not just, you know, a burger joint.
Right. This isn't just about making sure the fries are crispy anymore. It's a whole different ballgame. And then on top of that, you've got the tech side of things.
Don't even get me started on the tech.
Mm.
Online ordering, mobile payments, all those delivery apps. I swear, it's like they took every tech headache of the 21st century and crammed it all into one job. How's anyone supposed to keep up with all that?
It's definitely a challenge. These days, you got to be tech savvy or you're going to get left behind. Think about it. You could have a team leader troubleshooting a glitchy point of sale system 1 minute, then dealing with a botched DoorDash order the next.
And then they probably have to train new employees on all those systems too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're telling me the person handing me my double cheeseburger might be more tech savvy than I am.
It's not out of the question. But here's the thing. As much as tech is changing the game, we can't forget about the human element. In fact, I'd argue it's more important now than ever.
Yeah, because even if you order from a kiosk or whatever, you've still got a whole team of people back there making the magic happen. Speaking of which, this role catcher guide mentioned something about the QSR industry having, like, insanely high turnover rates.
Yeah, it's a huge problem.
So you've got all this tech to manage, but you're also managing a team.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are probably new to the job. And you have to train them on those systems that seem to change every 5 minutes. And on top of that, you have to make sure the service is good, consistent, even with like less actual face-to-face interaction.
Exactly. It's a lot to juggle, that's for sure. And that's why leadership is so crucial in this role.
So you're basically saying you need to be like a tech wizard and a people person, all while working in a pressure cooker. No wonder this role catcher guide makes a big deal about leadership skills. But how do you actually like learn that on the job? Is it just like sink or swim?
Well, nothing beats hands-on experience, that's for sure, but it's not like they just throw you the keys and say good luck. RoleCatcher does a nice job, I think, of laying out a typical career path for this role. And you can see how someone could, gradually build up those leadership muscles as they move up the ranks.
Right, they have that whole career stages section. It's pretty cool how they map it all out, starting entry level and working your way up to like regional director. That's pretty impressive.
And it's not just about a fancy title either. The higher you go, the more responsibility you have, the bigger decisions you're making.
Okay, so let's break it down a bit. Someone starts out as an entry-level team member.
Hmm?
What's an average day look like for them? I'm picturing lots of like fry baskets and panicked attempts at remembering orders.
Well, you're not wrong about the fast pace. It's all about mastering the basics at that level, how to prep the food, handle transactions, keep the place sparkling clean, all while, learning how everything works. Think of it as the rookie season. You're proving you can handle the heat, that you're reliable.
Okay, so you've done your time as the rookie, learned the playbook. What's next?
Next up, you'd probably be looking at shift supervisor. Now you're responsible for a whole team during your shift, making sure things run smoothly, customers are happy, and that new team member from before actually knows the playbook.
So more responsibility, but also more of a chance to like stand out from the crowd, show what you can do when things get crazy. And if you totally kill it as a shift supervisor.
If you really shine, you might get promoted to assistant manager, which, let me tell you, is a whole other ballgame. Now you're helping to manage the day-to-day operations of the entire restaurant. Yeah, we're talking about training and developing team members, making sure everyone's following company policies, even conducting performance reviews. It's a lot more than just making sure the fries are cooked right.
And I'm guessing dealing with the occasional customer meltdown over a messed up order.
That comes with the territory, unfortunately. But seriously, this is where those leadership and decision-making skills really come into play.
Okay, so by this point, you're not just managing people, you're basically managing a whole business, right?
Exactly. You're thinking big picture now, sales, profitability, customer satisfaction. If a promotion isn't landing the way it should, you're the one figuring out why and coming up with a solution.
So you're like the CEO of Double Cheeseburgers. And if you crush it as an assistant manager, you're in line for, drumroll please, restaurant manager.
You got it. Now you're the one calling the shots. Overseeing everything, developing sales strategies, building a strong team, and keeping them motivated, which is no small feat these days, making sure everything's up to code. It's a demanding job, no doubt about it, but for the right person, it can be incredibly rewarding.
I'm kind of stressed just thinking about it.
Yeah.
So it's obvious you need serious leadership chops to hack it in this world. But what else does RoleCatcher have to say about, like, the ideal QSR team leader?
Well, they have this whole section on functions and core abilities, and it's not just about, being the boss. They emphasize communication and interpersonal skills, like really emphasize them.
Yeah.
Remember, you're dealing with a team of people from all walks of life, often in high-stress situations. Being able to communicate clearly, effectively, that's critical.
It's like they want you to be the therapist, but with a headset and a name tag, which honestly makes a lot of sense. What else?
Problem solving and decision-making are huge, too. No time to overthink things when the milkshake machine explodes in the middle of a lunch rush, right? You got to think on your feet and make the right call, even under pressure.
Quick thinking, cool head. Got it. Anything else?
Last but not least, RoleCatcher highlights the importance of adaptability and being able to handle stress. This industry is constantly evolving, so you need to be okay with change, able to roll with the punches. If you're easily frazzled, this might not be the best fit.
So basically you need to be like part business executive, part therapist, part air traffic controller, all while wearing a hairnet.
And let's not forget about those tech skills. Remember that whole technology advances section we talked about? RoleCatcher wasn't kidding around about how much tech is changing the game here.
Yeah, and honestly, of everything we've gone over, that part surprised me the most. And it's not just knowing how to, like, use an iPad, right?
Yeah, not even close. Think about all those systems we use as customers now. Mobile ordering apps, those self-service kiosks that are everywhere, not to mention ordering through like Grubhub and Uber Eats. A QSR team leader has to understand those systems inside and out, from both a customer service perspective and a technical one.
So if the app crashes during the lunch rush or the kiosk starts freaking out, they're the ones who have to swoop in and save the day.
You got it. And it's not just about fixing things when they break either. All those systems generate a ton of data, customer ordering patterns, peak hours, which menu items are popular. A smart team leader can use that data to make decisions about staffing, inventory, even what kind of promotions to run.
Hold on. So they're expected to be data analysts now, too.
Right.
Every time I think I'm starting to get a handle on this job, it's like another layer gets added on.
Is a far cry from just shouting order numbers, that's for sure. And then there's the whole world of mobile payment processing. Cash is practically a relic these days.
Seriously, I haven't actually touched a dollar bill, and I don't even know how long.
Exactly. So team leaders need to know how to process all those digital transactions securely, troubleshoot any issues with the payment system. It's a lot to keep track of.
Okay, so we've got tech support, data analysis, leadership, customer service. But we haven't even touched on the elephant in the room. Delivery services. Talk about logistical nightmares.
It definitely adds a whole other level of complexity. Managing all those delivery orders, coordinating with drivers, dealing with wrong addresses, making sure everything arrives on time and at the right temperature. It's like they're running a mini tech startup on top of everything else.
This is blowing my mind. So anyone out there who's thinking, hey, maybe a QSR team leader job would be a good gig, just be prepared to work hard.
I'm not going to lie, it's not for the faint of heart. But I think this deep dive has also shown that it's a job with a surprising amount of depth and potential. We're not just talking about flipping burgers here. We're talking about developing skills that could be valuable in any industry.
That's actually a really good point. I've always thought of fast food as, kind of simple and straightforward.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's this incredibly complex world, and the people running it are anything but simple.
It just goes to show that technology and these changing consumer habits, they're impacting every single industry, even the ones we think we know.
So true. Next time I'm waiting for my order, I'm definitely going to look at the team leader a little differently. They might just be a future CEO in disguise, getting their start one order at a time.
Absolutely. And who knows, we might even be able to learn a thing or two from them about leadership, adaptability, and the power of good data.